All right, folks, week 10 is here. It gets kicked off in a matter of minutes with the Broncos and the Raiders. I think the Broncos win big tonight versus the Raiders versus that enormous divisional showdown with the Chiefs in Denver next week. So I think the Broncos are going to win. I think they're going to cover the 9 points, and they're going to really blow out the Raiders tonight. But there are two huge games in week 10 that I really got my eye on. So number one, the Rams travel to San Francisco to play the 49ers. And this is a huge divisional showdown. And I think the Rams right now are the best team in the NFC very quietly. And I think Matthew Stafford has been the best quarterback in the NFL. Right now, so far today, he has 21 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this year. And I think he has played better than any quarterback in the NFL very quietly. A lot of their games are on at 3:05 when other teams are playing. And not a lot of teams watched that Rams-Saints game last week, but he absolutely demolished the Saints. He could not miss all day long. And this is a huge game because the 49ers beat the Rams once, so they really cannot afford to lose this game. And the Seahawks are playing really well, so whoever wins this is going to keep pace with the Seahawks. But we don't know if Purdy's going to play. It sounded like he was going to play the last 2 or 3 weeks, but he seems like he's always a last-minute scratch. But I don't know if it really matters. I think Mac Jones is playing well enough. I don't know if there's a huge difference between the two. Christian McCaffrey, really, their entire offense really revolves around Christian McCaffrey. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there in that one. The second big game, the Eagles go to Green Bay to play the Packers, and I will be at this game in Lambeau Field. And I feel really worrisome for the Packers right now. Tucker Kraft is probably the biggest injury so far this season, or one of the biggest injuries. He was really their go-to receiver on third down, even though he's a tight end. And right now, their receivers, they have a lot of good wide receivers, but they don't really have a number one right now, and he kind of was their number one. But I think the biggest thing really hampering the Packers right now to date, they are 17th in rushing in the NFL. And that's not what the Packers want to do. They want to rush the ball. Consider this. Last year, they were 5th in rushing. So that's a big drop-off. And Josh Jacobs is a good running back, but they just cannot get anything going on the ground. And I think that's really at the core of a lot of their problems they have. So let's get to my picks. So far this year, I'm 16-17, but I would say this is probably the best I felt about my picks all year coming into this week. There are some games I absolutely love heading into week 10. So number one, I love the Jags -1 at Houston. And Houston right now, I think, has the best defense in the NFL, but they're playing without C.J. Stroud. And Davis Mills last week couldn't get anything going. He scored 3 points in the last 3 quarters of that game. I don't think Houston's going to be able to score at all. This is going to be a very low-scoring game. I think they're going to probably force Trevor Lawrence into a couple turnovers, but I don't think they're going to take advantage of them. And I think the Jags are going to win by 3 to 4 points. I'm taking the Jags at Houston -1. Number 2, I'm going to take the Niners plus 4.5 at home versus the Rams. And we talked about this game at the top. This is an enormous game. And I think the Rams are going to win a very close game, a 23-20 type game. But 4.5 points is way too many for a team as good as the Niners to give up or to get. And I think this is going to be a very close game. I think Stafford's going to have a great game. I don't think Mac Jones is going to quite be able to keep up with him. So I'm going to take the Rams in a very close game, but I think the Niners are going to cover the 4.5 points. Number 3, I'm going to take the Steelers plus 2.5 at the Chargers. And if Joe Alt was playing, I would feel very differently about this game. But without Joe Alt and with Joe Alt, these are two completely different teams. The Chargers went out and traded for Trevor Penning earlier this week, former UNI player. But I feel like that was just more of a move just to keep Justin Herbert from getting killed, because they're right now without both of their starting tackles, and they just can't protect them. And last week, the Pittsburgh defense finally showed up, first time all season. I think they'll continue that. And this is in Los Angeles, but this is going to be mostly Steeler fans at this game. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 2.5, and I'm going to take them to win that game. Number 4, I'm going to take the Lions -8 versus the Commanders. And this is something I very rarely do, but the Lions are coming off a loss. I think they're going to blow them out. They're going to come out. They have to have this game really to have a chance at winning the division, getting the 1 seed. And I think they're going to come out on fire. I think they're going to blow out the Commanders. There's no Jaden Daniels the rest of the year. And the Commanders season is just over. They have no chance of making the playoffs right now. I look for the Lions to blow out the Commanders, and I'm going to take the Lions -8. And finally, I'm going to take the Eagles plus 2.5 at Green Bay. And I think the Eagles are going to win this game outright. outright. And the Eagles are coming off a bye. They've had 2 weeks to kind of work on some of their offensive issues. Saquon Barkley had his best game of the year 2 weeks ago. Very good run defense. They traded for a pass rusher before the trade deadline. I think the Eagles are going to come into Lambeau Field and take care of the Packers, and I'm taking the Eagles plus 2.5 and to win outright. So those are my picks. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So leave a comment, and we'll talk to everyone Sunday night.